4 years, 2 months, and 18 days before being stabbed while acting on the set of a vampire movie, Terrence, 39, took a drag from his morning cigarette and looked at his reflection in the bathroom mirror. It was a week before his 40th birthday, and the sedentary life of a limo driver had finally gotten the best of him. After staying fit and cut for most of his adult life, he had, over the last few years, gotten away from regular workouts. As he looked at his nearly 40-year-old self in the mirror, he realized that it was now official. He had a gut. Hi, I'm Neil A. Yeager, and today I'm reading from my novel, Non-Hollywood. If you check out this video's description text, you can find links to all sorts of other creative projects that I'm involved in, including my other books, such as Political Music Club. Now you can check out a hard copy or an ebook of Political Music Club on Amazon or all the other bookstores. Also, if you like my narrating style, I have done an audiobook of this, which you can find on Audible and iTunes and all of those other places. Also, since this one is about a bunch of musicians, it has a soundtrack. And you can find that soundtrack Bandcamp, iTunes, etc., etc. But back to Non-Hollywood. This is chapter 52, Actor's Abs to Flab. He looked in the mirror and shook his head. Pushing 40, the softness had just kind of crept into his physique, just as it had done to most his age a decade or more earlier. It had been only his desire to break into acting that had held the fat at bay for him for so long, but that too had changed over the last few years. He had stopped going to acting classes, stopped looking up casting notices, stopped getting his headshot updated, stopped telling people that he was an actor. He was, in fact, now a full-time limo driver. The good news in that scenario was that over the past few years he had been earning a steady full-time income. That, combined with the fact that Melanie, 38, had landed a much better job about 5 years ago, and that had allowed them to work on saving a down payment for a house. Now, they would have to buy somewhere in the valley where the prices were a little better, but they certainly felt that it was doable. Their daughter still had a few years of high school left, so they didn't want to move until she went off to college. But that was the plan. In a few years, the two of them would stop being renters, and they would then transform into homeowners. Terrence was almost 40 years old. He had somehow turned into a chain smoker. Acting was far, far back on the back burner. And he had a gut.